Welcome back, Focus Learners. Okay, so if you're aiming to take your German from that intermediate plateau straight to that highly coveted professional C1 level, well, you are exactly where you need to be. Today, we're unlocking an absolutely crucial structure, the passive voice with modal verbs. So grab your notebooks because we're going to make advanced grammar feel totally effortless.
All right, let's dive right into this. Take a look at the active sentence on the left here. Der Hausmeister muss die Tür schließen, meaning the janitor must close the door. But look over on the right. We have the passive voice. Die Tür muss geschlossen werden. The door must be closed. Do you see that perspective shift? By moving the focus away from who does the action to what actually needs to be done, your German literally instantly sounds more objective, more formal, and way more professional.
So, here's our quick roadmap for today's explainer. 1. Introduction, understanding the passive. 2. The grammar formula. 3. The 4 key modal verbs. 4. Passive in work and daily life. 5. The past tense. And 6. Summary and practice.
Okay, let's hit section 1. Introduction, understanding the passive.
Now, before we mix in those modal verbs, we kind of need to remember the core purpose of the passive voice itself. It shifts the spotlight entirely away from the person doing the action right onto the final result. And to build this, you just need a really simple, almost math-like formula. We start with a subject, follow it with a modal verb, stick any extra info in the middle, and then lock in the end of the sentence with your Partizip II. That's your past participle plus the word werden. So die Tür is the subject, muss is the modal, geschlossen is our Partizip II, and werden. The door must be closed. This combo right here is the absolute golden key to professional German.
And you know, this brilliantly illustrates just how wonderfully logical German grammar can actually be. If you want to transform an active sentence into a passive one, just follow 4 simple steps. Step 1, your old accusative object gets a promotion. It becomes the new subject. Step 2, keep your modal verb right where it is. Step 3, change your main verb into its participe second form. And step 4, literally just drop werden at the very end of the sentence. 4 steps, perfect grammar every single time.
Moving on to section 3. The 4 key modal verbs. So while there are a bunch of modal verbs in German, when we talk about the passive voice, there's really a core group of 4 that you're going to encounter constantly in rules, duties, and professional settings. Here they are. We've got müssen, which expresses an absolute necessity or duty. Können, which highlights a possibility. Sollen, used for professional recommendations or strong expectations. And finally, dürfen, which dictates permission, or, if it's negative, strict prohibition. Swapping just one of these completely changes the urgency and the whole vibe of your sentence. Let's contrast 2 of the heavy hitters. On the left, we've got müssen. Die Rechnung muss bezahlt werden. The invoice must be paid. That is a non-negotiable necessity. But contrast that with darf nicht on the right. Die Tür darf nicht geöffnet werden. The door must not be opened. Darf nicht is like the ultimate red light in German, right? It strictly communicates that something is entirely prohibited. No exceptions.
Next up, let's look at possibility versus expectation. Over on the left with können, we have das Problem kann gelöst werden. The problem can be solved. It's practical, it's an optimistic possibility. On the right, sollen gives us die Mitarbeiter sollen informiert werden. The employees should be informed. That's a strong professional recommendation or expectation, which is incredibly common in workplace emails and meetings.
Next section. Word order, putting the puzzle pieces together.
Okay, so we have our formula and we have our verbs. Now let's talk about word order, because knowing exactly where each word sits in a German sentence is just as important as knowing the words themselves. Now what's really interesting about this slide is how rigidly the sentence is anchored. Check out how your modal verb, muss, sits firmly in position 2. That is its home, no moving it. Then you've got your middle field for time markers, like heute, meaning today, and finally, the passive combination unterschrieben werden, be signed, anchors the absolute end of the sentence. The modal holds the front, and the passive infinitive locks down the back. It's like bookends.
Moving right along to section 4, passive in work and daily life. So, you might be wondering, why are we spending so much time mastering this exact structure? Well, if you're navigating a B2 or C1 environment, whether you're at a corporate office, a university, or just dealing with endless government paperwork, this structure is a non-negotiable must-have. Let's look at some super concrete professional examples. At work, you wouldn't just say, someone needs to check the documents. You'd say, die Dokumente müssen überprüft werden. The documents must be checked. For building rules, in Gebäude darf nicht geraucht werden. Smoking is not allowed in the building. And for bigger societal discussions, maybe in an essay or presentation, Diskriminierung darf nicht toleriert werden. Discrimination must not be tolerated. See how that sounds? It's incredibly objective, formal, and really authoritative.
But hey, what if you absolutely must mention who is performing the action? The passive voice usually hides the doer, right? But you can actually seamlessly add them back in by using the preposition von followed by the dative case. For example, die Dokumente müssen von der Behörde geprüft werden. The documents must be checked by the authority. This is great because it gives you the best of both worlds, that slick, formal structure, but with the actor clearly identified.
All right, section 5, the past tense, or das Präteritum.
Let's move to the past and see how this builds when we shift our timeline. You may be thinking that changing tenses is going to totally ruin our beautiful formula, but the German language is actually wonderfully consistent here. Take a look at this direct comparison. In the present tense on the left, we have die Aufgabe muss erledigt werden. The task must be completed. Now look at the past tense on the right. Die Aufgabe musste erledigt werden. The task had to be completed. Notice what happened there? Literally only the modal verb changed from musst to its past form musste. The rest of our sentence puzzle stayed perfectly 100% intact.
And finally, section 6, summary and practice.
Okay, we've covered the formula, the core verbs, the word order, and the past tense. Now it's time for my absolute favorite part of the explainer, the interactive portion where you actually get to test out your newly acquired perspective shift. But before I test you, here's a rapid-fire cheat sheet of essential Partizip II forms to fully arm you with the vocab you'll need. You'll see everyday verbs turned into their past participles. Geschlossen for closed, geprüft for checked, unterschrieben for signed, ausgefüllt for filled out, and verbessert for improved. Take a really quick mental snapshot of these, because you're going to need them in about 5 seconds.
All right, here is your first challenge. Take this active sentence. Die Mitarbeiter müssen die Dokumente prüfen. The employees must check the documents. I want you to literally pause the explainer right now, apply our 4-step formula, and try to construct the passive version in your head. Go ahead, I'll wait. Okay, here is the solution. Die Dokumente müssen geprüft werden. Did you get it right? So, the crucial point here is how the accusative object, die Dokumente, successfully became your brand new subject right at the front of the sentence. Really excellent job if you nailed that.
Let's do one final challenge to deeply solidify this concept before we wrap up. This one involves a strict prohibition. The active sentence is, die Besucher dürfen die Tür nicht öffnen. The visitors must not open the door. Remember the rules. Pause the explainer and build that passive sentence.
All right, let's check your work. The answer is, die Tür darf nicht geöffnet werden. Huge congratulations to all of you focused learners who got that. You have literally just successfully mastered a high-level, highly practical C1 grammar structure that is going to completely transform the way you speak and write German.
But hey, I'm not going to let you leave without a tiny bit of homework. Your challenge for today is to build 5 of your own sentences using müssen, können, sollen, and dürfen. To make it real, ask yourself, what absolutely must be improved or solved in your own workplace or society? Write those sentences out. The more you apply this to your actual everyday life, the faster it becomes second nature. And that wraps up today's structured explainer. For comprehensive practice and to really lock in everything you've learned today, be sure to visit the Falowen app at www.falowen.app. And definitely don't forget to subscribe to LLEA Ghana on YouTube for incredible German lessons, ranging all the way from A1 to C1. Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next one.